dream job in tech without experience or a degree? I mean, a few years ago, we would have been like, yes, of course, there are so many job openings. It feels like infinite possibilities within the tech industry. Fast forward to this year, feels a little bit different. In this video, we are really going to dive into how realistic is it for you to land your dream job in tech without prior experience in that role, without a degree. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. All right, let's jump into it. First up, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Well, I mean, figuratively speaking, that is, which is job postings. It seems like nowadays there are less job postings available, which yes, is true, but the job postings that are available are not for people who don't have experience, or that's what it feels like anyways. You go onto a job posting and it's asking for 3 to 5 years experience for a junior role, and the pay sometimes isn't that great. So not only can you get into tech now without experience or degree, but then the other question we will uncover in this video is it worth it? But here's the thing, we need to look at the data because the data is telling us different than what we are seeing on a lot of social media, a lot of news, which actually 61% of hiring managers are planning on expanding their team in 2024. And that number has stayed true. This is from the Robert Half Technology Report. I really love their report. It comes out once a year and it is so well done. This is just a side note, by the way. I feel like it's very insightful. So I always go to that or resources like that actually take time to study the industry for accurate data. So where are all these jobs then? If hiring managers are increasing jobs and looking for more candidates, what is going on? Why is everyone saying otherwise? Well, there's kind of a few factors here. One is they are looking for more specific roles. People, of course, within AI, that is something we are continuing to see grow over and over again, whether you are a technical person in artificial intelligence or on the business side and just are very well versed within it. Lots of opportunities there. The other side as well is they are looking on average for people with more experience. So it brings up the question that we are going to answer in this video, which is it even possible to land your dream job in tech without a degree or experience? Now, you already might be working in tech and have some experience, but you want to land that dream job in particular. And it's maybe in a different area, a different role, and it feels impossible right now. And on the other side, you might just be getting into tech and you do not have a degree. I'm someone who got into tech and I have a degree, but definitely not within the tech space or computer science space. And for me at the time, it felt like, yes, this is going to be difficult, but I've seen others do it and I know I can too. So how do you get your dream job in tech? Well, I think we need to redefine or take a step back and redefine what does job really mean? And I say that because a lot of times when we think job, we think stable, 9 to 5, growing our career, which yes, of course that's one aspect. But what we have seen in the market over the past year especially is the rise in contracting roles. And I gotta say, these contractors, they make bank. They make a lot of money. And it's one of those sweet spots. Honestly, I was a contractor actually for quite a few months before moving into a full-time position in tech. And it was just the way that the company I was at got acquired, and then I started as a contractor, and I loved it. It honestly was one of those things where you're kind of in that good spot. You work for a company, but you still feel like you have a bit of freedom if you wanted to leave or go to contract a different company. I would highly suggest looking into contracting roles. And this is an area that we are seeing continue to open up for more individuals. Now, the second part of this is getting your dream job in tech looks different than it did a few years ago, especially without experience or a degree. Without those two things in the past, it was one of those things where you could come in and still share other experience you had on your resume and you would probably be considered. Nowadays, you have to really put that extra step forward. And here are a few ways that you can do that. One is, of course, networking. And this doesn't mean you have to go to in-person meetings or conferences because it can get really old really fast. Or if you're like me and you're more of an introvert, it can feel kind of overwhelming. There's so many other ways to network. One of my favorite ways is honestly just through LinkedIn. Reaching out to people in their messages, not starting the conversation with an ask, but more so, hey, I really enjoy what you're doing, or maybe you read their blog post or some different piece of work that they are working on. It's a great way to start conversation and just get that door open. From there, you can meet on Zoom, or if you're in the same city, go for a coffee. The other way to really stand out, especially if you don't have the experience or a degree, is you need to be part of communities. And this nowadays is so much easier to do online. One of the best things you can do if you are going into a technical role or looking to get into that area is contribute to open source. I'll share some open source communities up here. I find they're one of the best and most supportive things that you can do is joining these groups. It was so shocking to me when I first got into tech how supportive people are, and I have still felt that every step along the way. So if you are someone who is thinking, I'm feeling really alone in this journey, don't worry, there are so many amazing communities out there to really help you. Speaking of communities, here is something is so underutilized, which is join hackathons or coding challenges. And even if you are someone who is not a technical person, there's actually a lot you can do at hackathons. And when I say the alarm went off. One sec. We're back. Okay, when I say non-technical, what I mean is, yes, technical in some aspects, but not coding. Because oftentimes when we think hackathons, we think coding. But the reality is at hackathons, there are so many other roles that are required, from designers, project managers, the list goes on. And it depends on what hackathon you are participating in, but a lot of them nowadays really make it open to so many different individuals in different roles. That is one of the best ways to meet others, learn where they work, especially if you're doing a hackathon in person. And the third one, which is once again so underutilized, is to start freelancing. This is a great way to get that experience that a lot of employers are looking for nowadays. Start freelancing. Here are some great freelancing sites that you can go check out. I think it's one of those things that even if you just show the initiative that you are freelancing and have worked with others, it will really help you stand out. Which brings up the question again, is it possible to get your dream job, land your dream job in tech without experience or a degree? If you follow some of these tips that I just shared, from standing out by freelancing and getting that experience, networking with others, joining communities, it most definitely is possible. It is more work nowadays than it was back, I would say, in 2020, 2021, when it was booming, but it is so possible for you to land that dream job. So I really don't want you to leave this feeling discouraged or, oh my goodness, I have to go back to school for another 4 years. The reality is the internet is so incredible with learning resources, and a lot of times they're free resources and ways that you can really break into tech right from the comfort of your home, which is a win-win if you're like me and you just want to stay home and be comfortable, or travel and be comfortable. All right, those are some of the ways that you can still land your dream job in tech without a degree, without experience. Leave in the comments, what is your dream job in tech? I'm really curious to hear. We talk a lot about different skills on this channel or ways to continue to upskill and grow your career, but what is your dream career? If you knew you couldn't fail at anything, what would that be? Leave in the comments. Let's have good discussions around it. I'll make sure to answer every single one of your comments. Thank you for watching this video. Oh, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.